What broke me was losing my 5-year-old daughter when I was 21 in prison. In order for me to tell you what that meant to me, I have to take you back to the beginning. My name is Yohannan Brunson, and this is my broken, not dead story. I'm broken, not dead. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born in 1984. I grew up in a different time, a different era. One day, I'ma say I was maybe 6. I just remember being ushered out, taken away from my mother. Didn't really understand why, didn't understand what was going on. I just knew my brothers and sisters, myself, we were just gone. Later, as time went on, I realized we were in foster care. So as time went on, I want to say I was about 14 at the moment. It was time for me to leave foster care. I went back to my mother. Everything was great. I mean, I'm finally back home with my mother. You know, what child couldn't ask for anything better than that? And a year later, I was in tune with a young lady. I get a phone call that she's pregnant. So at 16, when my daughter was born, she was born with spinal bifida. She was born with a heart murmur. She was born with a cyst on her back. She had to have an artificial tube in her heart go into her head to drain the fluid, another one from her heart to her stomach to drain as well. She was on 3 different types of medicine just to stay alive. And I would have to catheterize her 3 times a day. And she stayed in the hospital a year and a half. The first year and a half she was born. She was my everything, my world. And I wanted something different for her. So her mother and I decided one day that we would move here to Alabama and try to give it a shot. So we had her listed in UAB, the Children's Hospital. She would have to go get regular checkups there from the previous surgeries that she had. After about 6 months, her mother didn't like it here anymore. It was a different pace. She couldn't take it, she left. It was just my daughter and I. When I first moved here, I still had the New York mentality, state of mind. Just trying to survive and do what I can to provide for my family. And a lot of it was illegal. But I tried to change over a period of time. I got an apartment, my daughter and I was doing good. I met a gentleman who was over a Head Start program for children with special needs. I met with him, he met with my daughter and myself, and my daughter was set to start school. This happened on a Friday. On Monday, I was locked up. I was a robber, you know, I would rob to survive and provide for myself and my daughter. Even when I moved here, you know, I still had the residue on me. So I'm sitting in the county jail. It takes a month for the judge to grant me bond. When she does, it's under several terms. 1, I have to wear an ankle monitor. 2, I cannot contact my child's mother, which means I can't talk to my daughter, which to me is a problem because my daughter is all I know. While I was in the jail for that month, I met a chaplain, and the chaplain was able to contact my child's mother, getting permission without me actually contacting her. And it was really just to hear my daughter's voice. That was the last time I was able to talk to her. It got so frustrating because I wasn't able to leave. I was on an ankle monitor. I mean, they had me trapped. So one day, I figured out I'd take the ankle monitor off. I resort back to my old ways. I didn't feel like I had anything else to lose. I couldn't talk to my daughter. I couldn't see her. And I'm basically trapped. I felt like my world was closing in on me. So I knew what I had planned. I knew what I was gonna do. And I knew that it was a potential I wouldn't make it back. But I went with it anyway. And before the end of the night was over with, I was back in jail with an attempted murder charge and another armed robbery, on top of the first armed robbery and the ankle monitor that I was just on the day before. And I knew I was facing so much time. Each felony Class A carries 20 to 99 years. They could have done anything from 60 years to almost 300 years. I didn't know what was gonna happen. My first offense, but I caught all 3 felonies at one time. When they sent me to prison, it was March 8th, 2006. March 8th is my daughter's birthday. So they sent me to prison, and I'm going to prison, and just remember having a bad feeling, like, out of all the days, why today? Why not yesterday, tomorrow? And I get there, I get settled in. My daughter turns 5 years old. I get a phone call to come to the main office while I was in prison. Typically, you never get a phone call unless you're in trouble, you do something major. So as I'm walking, I'm like, what can I possibly have done? So I get there and they give me the phone. So I pick up the phone, and it's my mother. Once again, it's always mom, you know? It's my mother, and she's like, Hanijah, that was my daughter's name. She's like, Hanijah had a seizure. She's in the hospital. And 3 days later, they called me again. And this time I'm kind of airy, because I know. So I'm taking my time, getting there. And they hand me the phone again. And when I get the phone, I hear my mother crying. So I'm like, what happened to Hanijah? She passed away. The worst feeling just went over me, because it's like, here it go once again. I'm trying to do something positive. I'm trying to do everything good again. I'm at this mountaintop, and here go another fall. So I just hang up the phone. I didn't have any words. I didn't have anything to say. I felt like at that moment, I didn't have anything to live for. I go back to my cell, and everybody already know what happened. One day, my bunkmate, he got me up, and he was like, hey, they need you in the chapel. And I'm like, I'm not going. And he like, man, they need you. Trust me, they need you. And I get in there, and the chaplain is praying. And the minute he see me, he bring me to the front. He start praying for me, and he's telling me, sorry for your loss. These group of guys right here are here for you. It's men from every walk of life, from every gang, from every race. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter if we didn't like each other the day before. The fact that everybody came together just to pray for me and lay hands on me, that I get past this stage of my life, it meant so much to me. And in the end, I felt like I owe it to these people to do something more positive than feeling like my life is over. After that night, I can't explain it, but it gave me the strength. It gave me the will to succeed. It gave me the will to want to do something better. If my daughter was still here, she would want me to do something better. So I enrolled in school. I never gave myself a chance to learn how smart I was, because my whole life was based off of survival. And In 2 months, I was finished with my GED. Directly after that, I got into a welding trade, 10 other certificates, certifications during the time I was in prison. It was like I was hungry for knowledge. I was hungry. So I come home from prison, 2009, May 23rd. And I remember, before I can leave out of the gates, the correctional officer tells me, hey, I'll see you back in a couple months. And this is a typical speech that a lot of ex-inmates and convicts hear, because numbers prove 85% come back. But I was determined to beat those odds. If I was gonna be in the 15%, I was gonna do that. So I started at minimum wage. It was $7.25. I didn't stop there. I kept progressing. At the end of 2009, I ended up with a job at Thacker Casket, which is a casket company that basically welds metal caskets. I stayed there with them for 2 years. I became a welder. I excelled. I ended up joining the union as a millwright. I traveled everywhere with them for the first 2 years. Eventually, God blessed me with another daughter. I wanted to spend more time with her. My business agent at the time, he called me and he's like, what you doing? You ready to go work out of town yet? I'm like, no, not at all. He like, all right, cool. Well, I got something for you. I'm like, okay. He like, what do you think about Redstone Arsenal? And I'm like, Redstone Arsenal? He like, yeah, NASA. I'm like, what do I think about it? When do I start? So I go to NASA. I ended up staying there 6 years. It was supposed to have been 5 months. I was thinking, and I'm like, I have this side business. And God stopped me. He was like, this is not a side business. What I've given you in your hand is a gift that everybody don't possess. And he gave me peace to go in there and talk with my supervisors and tell them I quit. It was the scariest thing that I had to do, but it was time for me to follow my passion with the heart of a father this time. For almost 6 months after I left, nothing. No jobs, no job calls. It was just me, God, in the wilderness with this new home I just bought, and my daughters. But it was a time for me to rest. For going for so many years, missing out on so much, I was able to actually be there with them. The first job call comes through. And I'm just like, you know what? I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this. I got the job, and when I did the job, it opened up so many opportunities for me. I'm able to take my daughters to school. I'm able to pick them up from school. I'm able to take them to a hair appointment. I'm able to put them in the bed, like I can actually see them day in and day out, which is a beautiful thing, as well as providing for them with nothing over me, like something in my past is coming to catch up with me. It's a feeling of peace I can't even describe. Regardless of how long you may be locked up in a situation, regardless of what that may be, there's hope. And once you are free from that, never go back.
I'm broken under.